I am Bruce Jordan. I'm former IHG corporate and I manage over $1 billion in assets and $300 million in revenue. While Michael Jordan is to basketball, Bruce Jordan is the same to the hotel industry. My main goal is to make your hotel more money. And this is another episode of Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? You're tuned into another episode of Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts. And I am your host, Bruce Jordan. This particular hotel, we're at the Crowne Plaza, Lake Buena Vista. And guess what? Guess what's the greatest thing about Lake Buena Vista? Lake Buena Vista doesn't have a lake. I don't know why they call it Lake Buena Vista when it does not have a lake. So you're gonna come to the Crowne Plaza Lake Buena Vista over here in Atlanta, Florida. You're gonna have to bring your own lake just to match the name. Anyway, this place has 200 rooms, just over 200 rooms. It's been through a ridiculous renovation. Whoever did the design on this place, it was amazing. I never seen a gray blend go with like the whole scene. Like it's literally in the lobby area, it's in the dining room area, it's in the room, like everything is just gray. But for some strange reason, it works. Even outside of the building is a little gray, but everything just seems to work and mesh together, which is what I love. What we did, we rented a king suite and everything was okay. You know, there was a couple of issues that we seen. Most of it was operational issues in the housekeeping department and a couple of maintenance issues. But I can't say if it's a big thing or not, because it really depends on the guest and the type of guest that you're catering to. At one point in time, this hotel was one of the more prominent hotels in the area. As you guys know, I'm former IHG corporate, and I actually used to work at the Crowne Plaza. I was the controller of the Crowne Plaza. So this right here is something that's a little different. It's something that's very familiar from that. At least I'm very familiar with the product. One of the things that I did notice is that most Crowne Plazas are known for their meeting room space, and this place just doesn't have any. The Crowne Plaza that I used to actually work at went back to being a Holiday Inn. They went from a Holiday Inn to a Crowne Plaza back to a Holiday Inn because they just didn't have the meeting room space to support that type of product. So I was kind of surprised when I came here and I seen very limited meeting room space at this particular location. But hey, it looks great. Now this place is not located too far from Disney. You can actually buy Disney tickets here at the hotel, which is an incredible convenience. So you don't have to go online, you don't have to order online. You know, everything here is done for you. They have a concierge and they also have a bar. But guess what they don't have? They don't have breakfast. There is no breakfast at this location. And I guess it's due to COVID. But that's really not an issue. A lot of hotels has been doing bags, like they just been doing bags and go. They'll just put some muffins, some cereal, some milk or fruit and say, here's your breakfast. When things get back to normal, we'll return back to normal, and you know, then you'll have a full-scale breakfast again. So that was one of the issues that I was looking at. Like, how are you going to compete with the competition when you're not offering breakfast right now? Now, Booking.com, they allow you to notify guests inside of your profile that, hey, due to COVID, your breakfast is going to be limited or non-existent. The only problem with that is it still leaves that breakfast logo in your listing. So when guests see that logo, they automatically think and assume that breakfast is going to be included. And when they come in and they see that breakfast not included, they're not happy at all, and they're going to let you know by leaving that comment inside of their review. Now this place is very interesting. It has a bunch of different restaurants in the area, and it's not too far from it's like literally right across the street from Disney Resorts. And you know what that means. What comes with a bunch of different restaurants in the area and being close to Disney means a bunch of different competition. Now, it's not as bad as the Sleep Inn Kingdom location that we went to, and it's not as bad as 192, but it's pretty close. You have hotels literally all around you. The good news is that they get to compete with Disney. With Disney resorts, their rates are like, $300, $400, $500, $600 a night. So they get to capture some of that business from Disney. Unfortunately, Disney, most people are not traveling, and Disney is just not doing the business that it usually does. So due to COVID, they have very limited capacity. You can only do reservations at Disney. Like you can't just walk in there anymore, So all the parks are open, everything is good, but they're just not at full capacity. I think Universal just laid off another 2,000 people as well, as the date of this take. So you can imagine what's going on with the hotel industry, down here. This Crowne Plaza is usually in the upper hundreds as far as ADR. They had a really much higher rate, but due to the fact that the demand in the market just isn't here anymore, they're struggling just to fill some beds. Actually, I end up getting this room for $45 a night, plus the $15 resort fee. Can't leave that out. But still, that's nowhere near what they need to be to get to the level and to pay for this renovation that just happened. So my heart goes out to the owners and the investors and the bank, and of course Frank, who's the general manager at this particular location. Now the room itself, amazing. They did a great job in renovation. Each room has a balcony. They have this amazing soft leather headboard. This way guests aren't hitting their head on the headboard. Amazing light fixtures. All the rooms have USB ports in them. They redid the whole bathroom. What I love is that they actually have cast iron tubs. Cast iron tubs last forever. I hate fiberglass tubs because you're just going to be replacing them, and they're going to crack and they're going to leak and cause all types of problems. But these people over here, they did it right. Now, I did see a couple other issues. One, I seen some housekeeping issues. One thing I could say, I know that this hotel does not have any mold problems, because a hotel with mold problems, the first thing they teach you is to look up. Right? Unfortunately, the housekeeping team here just didn't look up. I found hair on the ceiling. There were hair on the rim, in the doorway, the edge of the doorway. It looks like there were stains on the sheets. Hey, I can't blame them for that, because when you're selling at a rate of $42 a night, you really can't afford to buy new sheets, especially with Crowne Plaza and IHG standards. Those sheets, they cost a lot, which is why when I run into those stains, I usually treat them, and I run an overnight cycle. I call it a 6-hour cycle that I let run overnight. So hopefully that gets out the stains. It just soaks it and turns them. Their machines may be a little bit older. When I had my older machines, I would just put a bunch of OxyClean inside of a bucket and just let it ride out. So, I think the COVID is really getting the best of this particular location, and there's nothing you can really do about that. One thing that I did notice, whenever you have to cut your staff back, you're gonna always run into issues with issues with maintenance, that where they can't. There are 1 or 2 people, and you have 200 rooms. You can only do so much. I had this same issue when I had to make some adjustments to COVID. I was down to 3 or 4 people, and I had a 400 room hotel. What do you do? There is no answers. So I understand, I get it. Doesn't make any sense, to cut back your staff that much. Or a lot of that comes from up top. It really doesn't even come at the hotel level. So there's really nothing you can do about that. Now, one person I do got to give my props to is Ellie. Ellie was amazing at the front desk. Listen, Ellie is a team player. She's the bartender and the front desk and the runner and everything else. Ellie has to get an Air Jordan. She gives a 2 thumbs up in my book. She did an amazing job. Now, one key thing that I noticed that was a little weird is when you have renovation budgets, unfortunately, everything just doesn't get approved. That's just the way it goes. You want the world, you want the moon, you want the stars, and you get the clouds. All right. So unfortunately, from what I'm seeing here, that the P-TECH units, they look the same. I think they changed everything but the P-TECH units inside of the room. And I guess because they're so limited staff, they haven't really been, the maintenance hasn't been cleaning the P-TECH units as consistently as, most people would like. So that's another thing that, we got to take another look at. Now, when it comes to the fixtures, they spared no expense. I mean, they got new lamps, they got they got new light fixtures. They have this swinging swivel 55-inch TV. I love that TV. That was like the best experience I have in a hotel as far as like TVs, like that big screen TV, took the cake. I love the fixture that was inside of the shower head. The shower head was amazing. Everything just looked great. Now, as far as the maintenance issues, of course, we had the P-TECH units that look like they really haven't been serviced or cleaned. And then we had a couple of caulking issues, like you can see the stained caulking around the tub. That was a little different. That's something you usually don't want a guest to see. But you know what? At $42 a night, I understand. I get it. There's only so much maintenance staff that can actually do the PMs. When they're PM in rooms, that's probably something that they can't do. They're probably just taking calls and doing calls all day long because they're so understaffed. Now, one thing I can say is the amenities. They're still trying to keep the IHG standards for the amenities. I seen that they have like goat milk soap. That is very, very, very expensive soap. And what's going on right now with the rates, with the pandemic and the rates being so low, this is something that I suggest all franchisees need to, call their VP or call someone in the division and try to get an amendment or an exclusion for a short period of time until things get back to normal. There's no way you're going to be able to keep to these ridiculously high standards and at the rates that we're charging. Everybody's waiting for things to get back to normal. There is no getting back to normal. As of this date, which is September 29th, Australia is still under lockdown. Until international travel happens again, even if everything opened back up in the US tomorrow, a majority, especially for this area, a majority of the business comes from international travel. So how are you going to get back to normal if other countries are not letting you leave and this country is not, their country is not letting people come in after they leave? There is no getting back to normal. Nothing's going to get back to normal for quite some time. So we have to, guard our grills and knuckle up right now and fight the fight that's in front of us, not the fight that we want 2, 3, 4 years down the line. Another expensive thing is that doggone Keurig machine. The way the Keurig machine usually works, some people buy them outright. This way they can get their coffee from wherever they want. But most hotels allow Keurig to actually add the machine, or Starbucks to add the machine, add the equipment in the room, and you have to just solely purchase their coffee. That's the only distributor that you have is them. When you do something like that, they charge you through the roof for that coffee. Like, it's not the price that you pay and the price that's in the store is going to be pretty close, or if not more, because they're trying to get their money back for the machine that they put inside of the hotel. And then on top of that, you're under contract. Now, this is something I feel should be renegotiated at the corporate level, at the franchisor level. There's not much these hotels can do about it. I even seen some hotels just go rogue and say, hey, you can either lower your price or get this machine up out of here. And next thing you know, the distributor goes complaining to corporate, hey, they're not using the machines. You need to go down there and straighten them out. And then you get that phone call, and you get that little visit from the VP of that area saying, what are you doing? So I feel like if everyone protests together and do this together as franchisees, I feel like this is something that can be renegotiated, at least temporarily, until things get back in order. Or it may be time to revisit this whole thing and see, hey, let's see if we get another coffee company here, and that's going to give us a better rate. Now, the pandemic has been affecting all hotels and the type of quality it can give to the guests. Unfortunately, this location at one point in time, I remember this place being like a 4.0, 4.1. Before, like a couple of weeks ago, it was a 3.9 on Google. Now it's down to a 3.8. This whole thing is really taking its toll on this particular location. And I feel that once things start smoothing out, once they, restructure and get things in order, that this place will be a force to be reckoned with. At this place, Frank is the general manager here. Frank is a vet. He's been doing this forever. So when I was looking at what was going on, I was a little surprised because, I heard about Frank, and from what I hear about Frank, if you're playing a 5-on-5, he's definitely someone that you want on your team. From what I hear, he's an amazing defensive player, but at the end of the day, he's only one man. You have 200 rooms and a limited staff. From my experience, from what I'm seeing, what's going on here at this particular location with the rates and the reviews that I'm seeing, and of course the housekeeping issues and maintenance issues that I ran into, it's only one or two things. Either his lower level management staff is burned out from being understaffed for so long, or he's not getting the proper support that he needs from corporate, the higher ups above him, to execute the way that he needs to execute to get this place where it was before the pandemic hit. Working with owners in a corporate office simultaneously is not very fun. I worked at a property that was owned by J&J, and they pretty much just let us run the show. We still had a corporate office that we had to answer to, of course, and we still had scores that we had to keep, and we still had audits and area quality audits and all that other stuff. But it's a lot easier when you have a proper structure and a proper staff that's helping you and pushing you along the way. But unfortunately, at this day and age, my personal opinion, I feel like some people just, especially when it comes to the corporate office, sometimes I feel like they're out of touch. They're out of touch with what's going on at the property level. Think about it. You're talking about CEOs and COOs that haven't done a check-in in 30, 40 years. And, they're at the corporate level. Meanwhile, you're getting keys thrown in your face and getting cursed out and spit on and everything else. And they're telling you, hey, you could do this better. Like, hold on, did you just not see this guy throw keys in my face? What do you want me to do better? All right. So things like that, it's difficult to work around and work with, people that, just haven't seen the front line or haven't seen a gun held to their head in so long, like we do here at the property level. And that can be a little discouraging and a little disturbing, for us when we're not getting the support that we need from the corporate level. The good news is that you also have some owners that are also owner operators. From my experience, those are the ones that are most easiest to talk to and the ones that you get the most support from, because they are the ones that they could come in and do what you do. They literally been what you've been through before, 2 weeks ago. So they get it, they understand, and you guys can mesh together a plan together. But when you have someone, at the top that, they're not walking around here, wearing a mask, they're not walking around here taking temperatures, they're inside of a corporate office. They know what we have to do, but they don't know what we go through to execute what we have to do. My favorite is the ones that, they invest in this as an investment because they were so successful in other business ventures that, hey, they're going to give hotel ownership a try, and they're going to be successful overnight in 24 hours. They're just going to be a hotel success in 24 hours because they were successful making tennis rackets. Like, it's like a auto mechanic that says, you know what, I was a great auto mechanic. Tomorrow I'm just gonna go work on jet engines. Like, yeah, it's not the same, buddy. Sorry. So from what I'm seeing here, especially when it comes to room, what I'm seeing is the room inspections. Most GMs who do not have room directors or operations manager, most GMs will tend to inspect 5 to 10 rooms a week, just to make sure that their quality is where they want it to be, that their standards is where they want it to be, and that they're keeping in line with ISG guidelines and so on and so forth. But like I said, due to the fact that they're so understaffed, I don't think they're able to, Frank is able to do as many room inspections as he wants to. And from what I'm seeing, the maintenance staff and the housekeeping staff is taking advantage of that. So that's going to be tough for him. He has to decide what he wants to do, if he wants to restructure, or if he wants to maybe work a couple hours later and just do the room inspections, which I don't think he's going to be able to do, because from my experience, he's probably overworked already. Like he's going to need a tough drink, trying to manage 200 rooms, with so little staff. Now, let's talk about this revenue. I feel like they're missing a couple of things. One, there's no upgrades. There's no upgrades and there's no amenities for the upgrades. Not from what I've seen, because all the rooms have balconies and all the rooms were just recently renovated with 55-inch screens inside of them. So like, what do you do? How do you get more room? What can you put inside of that room to make it an upgrade? One thing that he can do is he can do preferred parking. There's like parking spaces literally right in front of the hotel that he can make preferred parking for anyone who chooses to get an upgrade. That's probably something that no one has thought of yet, or something that he wants to do but haven't been able to do. The next thing he can do for the upgrade is he can give gift cards to restaurants in the area. There are like hundreds of restaurants around this place, and they all are competing against each other. I'm pretty sure they have no problem giving a hotel, a $5 gift card or $10 gift card just to, get some of that, draw some of that business in so they can get it as well. The next thing he can do is give a gift card for his location as well, so to bring the customer back. Or most importantly, reward points. Double your reward points. Give them more reward points. Make sure you cost that out in your upgrade, of course, but offer them more reward points for their stay. Hey, it's all included in the upgrade package. Make an upgrade package, do what you got to do to get the extra revenue, and then sell it. Now, I'm pretty sure they're also making money off the Disney tickets too, so that's a plus. But right now their rates are just way too low, and they have a lot of competition. They have Disney across the street. They have Delta Hotels. They have Hyatt, Regency, Hyatt Place, Fairfield. They have a lot of competition. The good thing, the competition that they have is also mid-level to luxury brands as well. So that will give them a boost in increasing the rate. He's competing against people that is within his same segment as a 4-star hotel. Now, most importantly, the most important thing is that I didn't get a stay over text. I did not get a text saying, hey, if you stay one more night, we can either keep the rate the same or we can reduce the rate. I will probably keep my rate the same or and increase it a little bit higher. There's no, I mean, it's already $45. There's no way I can get any lower than that, especially for this amazing place. They're lucky to even get it for $45. If I had to guess, I'd probably say that $45 was a drop rate, because when I was looking at booking this hotel before, it was like $68 to $70, and then it just all of a sudden just dropped down to $45. So I'm assuming that was just a drop, just to dump the inventory and get rid of it. Good move, but we got to do something to make up what we lost. So leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would do in this particular hotel's location. And again, this is an amazing product, great location, great place. It's just a pandemic. People are still waiting for hope. All the hope you got is you and your team. You don't have any hope from the government. You don't have any hope from the franchises or franchisors. All the hope that you have is going to be in yourself. So you got to do this. You got to use these, not on the guests. Don't use these on the guests, but you got to use these, and you got to keep fighting, and you have to come up with new ways and new methods to bring in some more business. Just a quick tip. Sales. A lot of these places are used to a lot of group sales. Influencers are going to be the new market during this pandemic. Whatever you need to do, try to get some influencers to do their events here. If you look at this space, this is ideal for an influencer, that want to fill up, that can fill up 50 rooms, 60 rooms, or just do a meet and greet. They have enough space, they can do a meet and greet, they can take some pictures. The influencers can get to know their fans personally, and they get a portion of the deal. So if it's $100, $150, the influencer gets $75, the hotel will get $75. It's a win-win situation. Influencer is going to be the future of group business. You just got to make it happen. I will start at 25,000 Instagram followers and up, or 25,000 YouTube followers and up. I'm pretty sure with 25,000 followers, they can fill up, 50 rooms. So keep that in mind. Let's make this happen. Thank you for watching Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts, making your revenues rise up once again.